We interrupt our program.
Excelsior.
I find that entertaining.
You're listening to Side Stack.
Hey everybody, welcome to Comics Discourse 114 Side Stack. I'm
Side
your host,
Stack.
Brian Newberry.
And I'm Anthony.
What's up, Ants?
We still
How you
haven't
doing?
really figured out what my name is.
Whatever you want to go by.
Let's do
make
Ants.
it. All
It's
right.
just easier.
Okay. All right. So, folks, thank you for joining us, and thank you for coming back. This is Side Stack Marvel Fanfare edition. Anthony and I are doing our read of Marvel Fanfare, and each episode will be a quick one and done per issue. So tonight is Marvel Fanfare issue 2,
Numero dos.
written by Chris Claremont with art by Michael Golden. Who did you actually get to see at San Diego Comic-Con a couple weeks ago,
No.
Anthony?
Well, I saw him on preview night. He was sitting there, and I was like, all right, make a mental note of where this guy is. I'm going to come back. Then I went back, and he wasn't there. And then I couldn't find him the whole rest of the weekend. And it was super confusing because apparently the people that represent him also represent like all the actors from the Alien movie, Aliens.
That is a
And
very odd mix.
yeah, and they switch out the signage for them. So I'm like, I know Michael Golden's right here, but why am I looking at like everybody from Aliens? So anyways, I don't know if he was just there on Wednesday and Thursday and I just missed him, but I never found the guy again. So
Oh, well, so if anybody out there knows Michael Golden, please point him in the direction of this, and maybe we can have him on the show.
I missed out on a golden opportunity.
Ah, ba-dum-bum. All right. Well, folks, if you remember where we left off last week, Angel and Spider-Man were being devolved by the Savage Land mutates. And Anthony asked, "Hey, what do you think Angel's going to turn into?" Well, we found out, and I'm just going to spoil it. He's a giant fucking chicken, dude. Like, I think they were trying
Yes.
to go for like an eagle or a hawk, but yeah, he looks like a giant chicken to me. I don't know how you felt.
Um,
Oh, so Spider-Man is, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I feel like I'm such a shit talker and I'm so negative,
Ah,
but
we're having
I
fun with this.
it's hard to kind of tell what he is, or even like Spider-Man in these two issues. Or
Spider-Man
even,
looks like a giant spider
but
to
it's
me.
so like muddy and like there's some panels where like I couldn't understand what the hell was going on,
Well, they got
especially with Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's head really right to me, except I kind of wish, and I know why they did it. He should have been walking on all of his, because they gave him full 8 arms and legs.
Yeah.
He should have been walking like that instead of upright on the tube. But if he was like that, you wouldn't be able to see that he's wearing Spider-Man's outfit.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I will
And this
interrupt
is,
with my shit talking when we when
well,
we get to certain
we've seen
spots.
Spider-Man versions where he's been turned into a spider before. This one's a little creepier to me because he's got giant mandibles coming out, pinchers from his face, and he's got all the eyes. I think it, to me, it really does look spider-like, except he's got claws at the end of his pinchers, like end of his feet. Like he's
He
got
usually gets like the big
fingers.
round booty, right? What do you call that? A thorax or I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
big
His
round booty.
midsection is still humanoid. Um, but Angel's face to me, you ever you ever read New Mutants?
A little bit. He
So
does
you
look like a
remember
chicken.
he looks like Louise Simonson during Fall of the Mutants brought in a character right before called Bird Brain.
Hmm.
He kind of looks like that dude. Um, and a little like Beak, but not quite.
Yeah, I was gonna
Um,
say beak, but the coloring too. They colored him like a chicken.
yeah, they did. And he's got like chicken feet and all that to me. But anyway,
Enough about
so
Chicken Boy.
um, oh, something that happens in all of these issues, and it's very 80s, and I understand it, but reading them back to back,
The
It's
recap?
a thing of its time. The recap we get a 1-page recap of what went on in the story so far every time. Um, so you can kind of gloss over that, but they had to do that because it's been a month and they don't reprint these. They weren't writing for the trade back in the early 80s.
I feel like, and it's a super Claremont thing too.
Oh, it is. He always does recap what some relevant story points. But this
I
wasn't like thrown into random word balloons. This was literally like, here's somebody telling Kazar what happened, and here's Kazar telling other people what happened as this goes on. Um, but Angel comes and Spider-Man come and they attack uh Kazar and his group, and they steal Tanya away. Um, pretty well take her to Brainchild, who is gonna devolve her to. Um, Harl Lycos, aka Sauron, and Kazar come to save them, and try to save Angel and Spider-Man, but Brainchild succeeds in devolving Carl's girlfriend. And there was a big old fight between Kazar, his Sabertooth tiger, Carl, and the Savage Land mutates. Spider-Man kind of breaks free a little bit of the control and ends up saving the day, helping out, but he destroys the machine that devolves them. So they're stuck. Now,
Let's remember this point
yes.
where the machine is destroyed.
Now, there's one way to fix them. And Brainchild, I'm going to talk about this more when we get to future issues. Brainchild is creepy as hell. So let's just park that for now. But Carl's like, you know what? I can drain this energy from all of them, but if I drain too much, I'm going to turn into Sauron. That's the problem. And it's a little confusing because in the past, it just seems it's a little inconsistent on what happens when Carl drains somebody's energy. Like if it's humans, it's not necessarily he's going to change, but if it's mutants, he's going to change.
Hmm.
And here it just seems like if he drains too much, he's going to change.
Hmm.
So he drains Tanya's energy and she turns back from a Neanderthal to who she was. And then he goes down the list of Spider-Man and then Angel. But as he's doing it, we just see him like grab parts of their body and we see his hands start to change every time more and more into Sauron type claws. And then you start seeing the wings come out of his forearm by the time he gets to Angel. And then we just get Sauron is back, and he is so pompous. I love the look on me, ye humans, in despair, because he's just so over the top. Um, and he's like, "Peace out. Time for me to take over the Savage Land. F you, Tanya. Bye bye." And Angel and Spider Man are back to normal, and they're getting the hell out of there. So really, the only thing that happened, Tanya came there to save Kyle or Carl, and instead did the thing that she didn't want and turned him into Sauron. If she didn't come there, none of this would have happened. So she fucked her boyfriend over.
Yes. Angel and Spider-Man leave. Tanya stays because she's either
Yeah,
going to save him or die trying.
I try it. So she stays with Kazar, who Kazar is pimping. He's got Shayna. She's staying with him. They're all with the autumn people that live in the Savage Land. Like, I don't know much about Kazar besides when he shows up in X-Men. I don't know if you've got
Hmm.
a history with him or not,
No.
but um yeah, he's kind of their Tarzan. He shows up in New York, has some series every couple years when they want to dust off the copyright and trademark. But um, yeah, he's staying. She's staying with him to try to save her boyfriend. That she's the reason he's where he's at, and that's that one.
Okay. Now we talk about my problems.
Go for it. Go for it.
So, like we talked about on the first episode, how with Marvel Fanfare, when they started it out, for this story, these two issues were sort of like inventory stories. They were laying around in a flat file somewhere. right?
They were supposed to be, these two seemed to be like they were supposed to be in team up, but they either hadn't
Yeah.
been there yet or they weren't finished. Although I see this could have just stopped at, we have two more issues. This does seem like two complete issues and a complete story here, besides a cliffhanger of Sauron going off in the Savage Land. Like
Hmm.
Angel and Spider-Man, which is the traditional team up with somebody with Spider-Man, that part's over. So that could have been published in team up.
Now, I don't, yeah, like you were saying, I don't know how much of this was already completed, but there's some like technical things with this book that bug me, especially like so far I haven't been so impressed with Mr. Alan Milgram as an editor because oh, which page is it? It's the page when we first see Chicken Boy, right?
Page
And
6.
so you've got the top left panel, and then what do you see next? You see that stupid arrow, right? That's telling you what panel to read.
Yeah.
Nothing bugs me more than when comics have to show you, like with arrows, or like DC did it a lot with like fingers and hands,
Yeah.
telling you which panels to go to. It's like I feel like this is the job of the editor to be able to, and I understand that these pages were probably already done, right? But it's especially this fight scene is so confusing, and they're having to like lead you along the way. I hate it. I hate it, man.
I don't
Boom.
mind the arrows so much. I think it probably wasn't needed on this page because the panel that it directs you to overlaps that one with
The
Angel.
next
So
one.
you would, yeah, you would
Now,
know what to read if you looked at the page.
this
It
is what's
would,
interesting. On the same exact page, right? Now, the bottom half of the page is the exact same panel setup, right?
oh,
And they
exact same. And
achieve,
there's
but
no
they
arrow
achieve it better because they have the thought balloons from the lower panel go into the top. So it's
overlapping.
the thought balloons, right? Or
Lead
like
you.
telling you where to go. You couldn't just do that on the same page, you know?
Literally, I think the layout itself leads you. You don't necessarily need the arrows, but
I hate that
hey,
shit. And then I think it was this one too, where and this stuff just bugs me, you know,
hey, we
where
all
it's
have our
supposed to
little
be
things.
thwarted, but it says thwarted.
Yeah, I don't read that close
Like,
sometimes.
you lost an H, you couldn't have lost an R and just made it twatted, but whatever. I just, come on, Al, let's edit this shit.
Speaking of, we forgot editorial at the beginning. So every issue, editorial kind of kicks off and talks about what what Marvel Team Up is, especially this early. Um, he does kind of go through the issue and say what's going to happen, but then he starts talking about all these creators, and these get kind of funny because he starts trying to pull each of them in to talk to him about what they're doing, and none of them want to on this one, except on the last panel. Yeah, he tries to push
He gets,
Claremont out. He and Claremont, he talks shit about Claremont in so many of these. And even in an interview we've read, he's like, Chris and I are friends. He basically said, I love taking the piss out of him.
yeah.
And
And it's
Claremont's a
so
good,
funny too because like you can tell which panels he's talking about Claremont because it is just so wordy. It's like
yeah,
it's
like
hilarious.
he's even pushed out by the word balloons, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
he's basically being like crushed by the word balloons in the
and
dialogue.
it's funny because this is the 80s and that was the style. But I mean, even back then, they're making fun of Claremont for being so dang wordy. All right, Ants. I have some
All right.
issues with the backup, but I'm gonna let you
Hmm.
discuss this
Hmm.
annihilation backup, especially since it's Fantastic Four, which is your jam.
Yes. So the backup on this one is Annihilation, Fantastic Four story, written by Roger McKenzie, pencils Trevor Von Eeden, and the inker is Armando. I assume Gill. It might be Heel. I don't know. So this is a classic Reed trying to turn Ben back into human story, which we've all read a million times.
A
So
billion times.
a billion times. Um, Late at night, Johnny, Sue, and Ben, come on, Reed, come out of the laboratory. No, no, I'm working on something. And Ben has his suspicions, like, I know what you're doing, buddy. You're trying to turn me back. Don't don't beat yourself up over it. So Reed has figured out that there's some sort of crystal in the negative zone, and if he gets this crystal, it will power his what's it called? Like
His giant
Like
ray gun. His reverse
the
cosmic ray
converter,
gun is what it does. I don't know what the name is.
you know. So I read all the Fantastic Four, right? And I
Yep.
still don't really understand the negative zone.
I think it's whatever anybody decides to write it as anytime. Like I know you can breathe in space. Um, and
Yeah,
somehow whenever they open a portal, either Annihilus or Blastar are in the immediate vicinity, even though it's an
even
enormous
though they're
fucking
always looking for like a gateway to get to like
yeah.
our world, even though they're
But
always
no
right.
matter
So
what, whenever whoever opens a portal, they're right there. Like I don't know how. It's an enormous galaxy, but they're there.
So Reed's using his scanners and stuff, and he finds the crystal he needs in the negative zone, and then he sticks his arms through these like extender metallic gloves that are shooting into the negative zone. Whatever.
But somehow he's got to. Somehow they're stretching with Reed. It makes no sense.
Yeah. What I do, I don't know. I don't know if I like this or not about this backup is they give you a 2-page retelling of the Fantastic Four origins, and they do a pretty good job of like mimicking that original like FF #1
Yeah,
style where the thing wasn't even really Rocky. He was more of that weird monster kind of dude.
you look like Clay, kind of.
So
Yeah,
they give you that whole like rehashing and how, I mean, Ben sort of blamed Reed at the start. So long arm Reed reaching into the negative zone finds the crystal, is pulling it in, but it's so late and he's so exhausted working on this that he like passes out. And he's asleep. He wakes up and he's like, "Oh my God, I should have taken that extra shot of espresso. I can't believe I did that." But guess who snuck out while Reed was snoozing? Annihilus.
Niles.
He's right behind him. So they're bam, they're just fighting, kicking ass, whatever, but Reed's getting his butt kicked like always. And the only way that Reed can defeat Annihilus is to place the crystal into the converter and blast him back into the negative zone, thus destroying the only chance at turning Ben human again. But the world
Ben
is
doesn't
saved.
know, so that's
Ben, well,
Reed's
Ben
okay.
kind of knows, but he knows.
Oh, I
He
know.
doesn't
I know.
know that like it didn't
He knows.
work, but yeah.
All right. So you had issues. I got issues.
Give it to me.
One, you didn't mention what night this was, and we had to. If you could go down a laundry list of Fantastic Four cliches, I feel like this hit them. I think the art's good, by the way. It's
Oh,
pretty decent.
oh, oh, that's our anniversary.
Yes, it's Sue comes in mad at Reed because it's her anniversary, and he still doesn't go to her afterwards. It's like this can't wait. He's still got to keep doing this, even though he hasn't even tried to get the crystal yet, mind you.
Oh yeah, they
Sue
just totally forget
storms
about
out,
Sue's. Yeah.
and then Johnny's got a hot date, so let's click that one. And then Ben's like, I know Reed's trying to cure me, but oh
Bah!
well, I'm gonna leave. Like it's not gonna happen. And we get Anthony's favorite Ben Grimm outfit and the trench coat and fedora. Um, it just seemed like clicking all the checking all. Oh, and then the 2-page retelling of their origin in what is basically a very condensed. This backup had 15 pages, so it's kind of long, but you got limited page length to tell this type of story, and we shove that in there. So like it
So do you,
just seemed like very paint by numbers Fantastic Four to me.
oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Um,
But again, it's not bad. I like the art all right. It's just
yeah,
I much
I didn't
preferred
hate it.
I preferred the lead in.
I mean,
I
Von
preferred
Eeden did
the
some like he
Savage
did
Land.
really good like Kirby gadgets and stuff. Like he wasn't lazy on the
Yeah.
back. I mean, it was pretty good. That is interesting that you bring up that it was their anniversary because I totally forgot about that. I mean,
Oh
they
yeah,
mention
when
it
you were
there.
like Sue and Ben and Johnny come in, I was like waiting for you to say it's their anniversary, and Reed didn't care. So we got Reed as a shitty husband,
But he never cares, you
and
know.
he didn't even think about it again this entire story. Like usually he's like down in the dumps, like oh I'm such a piece of shit, and no, he was not at all.
So like I feel like maybe it's really showing you that like the guilt that he feels for Ben is even stronger than his love for his wife. But whatever,
Hasanori
she's off
says
with
like
Namor. You know, that's what
As
she
should
gets.
be. Hasid always says like the worst fathers and husbands in DC or Marvel. Reed Richards is near the top of that list every time.
Oh
He
yeah,
kind of wants to do a show of the worst fathers in comics, and yeah, Reed Richards will be on that list.
Wally West's dad.
Oh, well, he was a manhunter, wasn't he?
Yeah, but
What?
he was the bad dad. All right,
All right. Well, Anthony, let's wrap this one up.
that was fun. That was quick. Boom. I like this. Less than 30 minutes.
Do it.
See, guys, this doesn't take a lot of your time. This is just a side stack. You can listen to this
Quick
anytime.
hits.
Just a quick, quick hit for your
Anyway.
between your CD114 main hit. Yeah.
Well, I like this issue overall. How'd you feel? You're a little
3.5
mixed.
stars.
All right. Anyway. All right, folks. We'll catch you next week.
All
Later.
right. Bye.